In today's world, many people in the middle class struggle to achieve financial stability despite working hard and earning decent incomes. In today's video, we'll explore common money traps that keep individuals broke while offering insights and practical advice to help you avoid these pitfalls and work towards financial freedom. Let's start with the first money trap, and that is high cost of living in relation to income. As income rises, so do expenses like housing, education, healthcare, and transportation. This often leads to a situation where a significant portion of income goes towards basic necessities, leaving little room for savings or investments. I remember when I got my first full-time job in Los Angeles and half my paycheck was going to my studio apartment in Inglewood. I was definitely in for a shock moving from Atlanta, where I could have easily had more than enough for a one-bedroom apartment and food, utilities, and whatever else I needed to spend my money on. And as my income increased, unfortunately, it could not keep up with the cost of living, the cost of food, the cost of just going out and trying to have a good time with my friends. In LA, there was very little remaining after paying for my transportation, food, utilities because of how expensive living in that city was, which is why I don't live there anymore. Number 2, lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation occurs when individuals increase their spending as their income rises. While it's natural to want to enjoy the fruits of your hard work, excessive spending on non-essential items can prevent wealth accumulation. This trap can keep people stuck in a cycle of paycheck to paycheck living despite earning more. Now, this was never a big issue for me because I learned from my parents, who didn't have a lot when I was growing up, to be as wise and frugal as possible with my money, even as my salary increased. But I will admit, I love my gadgets, so on occasion I will splurge. But nowadays I seem to be spending money on fitness, which I guess is not such a bad thing. Moving on to number 3, consumer debt. Many middle class individuals fall into the trap of consumer debt, particularly through credit cards and personal loans. High interest debt can quickly accumulate, making it difficult to save or invest for the future. Breaking free from debt requires disciplined budgeting and a commitment to reducing unnecessary spending. I'll tell you this, my wife and I paid off almost $300,000 in 22 months. There was a lot we both had to sacrifice to do this, and we got the idea from one of the big personal finance experts, one of those celebrities who talks about money all the time. You guessed right, Dave Ramsey. And it was totally worth it to get to this side, and to do it, we did have to look into multiple sources of income. I even sold a house that I bought in college. That's another story for another day, but watch out for consumer debt and try not to let it fester and linger around for too long. Try to have an attack plan, a game plan to pay off that consumer debt as quickly as you can. Number 4, over-reliance on credit. Relying too heavily on credit cards or loans to cover expenses can really lead to a dangerous cycle of debt. Paying only the minimum balance on credit cards prolongs debt repayment and increases overall interest costs. So it's crucial to use credit responsibly and only when necessary, while prioritizing debt repayment to free up financial resources. This was me in college. This is why I defaulted on $10,000 worth of credit card debt at the age of 21. I vowed to never put myself in that position again, and thankfully I haven't. So try to stay away from credit cards until you have a stable flow of income. Even science tells us that by the time you're the age of 25, that's when the mature part of your brain develops. And for me, I was a perfect example of why you want to wait to get a credit card until you have a stable flow of income and when you're a little bit more mature. And even then, treat that credit card like a debit card, only spending what you know you have in your bank account. The number 5 trap, lack of emergency savings. A lack of emergency savings is another common money trap that keeps people financially vulnerable. Without a buffer for unexpected expenses like medical bills or car repairs, individuals may resort to high interest borrowing or depleting retirement savings, further jeopardizing their financial security. Prioritizing a 3 to 6 month emergency fund is very important. Before investing and going on that vacation, I think buckling down and trying to get at least a 3-month emergency fund is got to be first. It's got to be the priority. Then you can build up to that 6-month emergency fund or 1-year emergency fund as you do other things like invest, go on trips and whatnot. And if you have debt, paying down debt as well. Number 6, poor financial planning. Middle-class individuals often overlook the importance of long-term financial planning. This includes setting clear financial goals, creating a budget, and regularly reviewing expenses and investments. Without a plan, it's challenging to prioritize savings and make informed financial decisions. As much as it might not seem worth it, even getting with a financial planner is definitely worth considering, even if it's just once or twice a year, to create that roadmap to financial freedom and staying on that path that you develop with your financial planner. Number 7, not investing for the future. Failing to invest for the future is a significant money trap. While saving is crucial, investing allows wealth to grow over time through compound interest. Many people miss out on opportunities for wealth accumulation by keeping savings in low interest accounts or not saving at all. The last 14 years has taught me that I have a better chance to build serious wealth that will help fund the life I want, that my family wants, if we invest in the stock market through low-cost, broad-based index funds and ETFs. And I'm not just talking about any index fund or ETF. I'm talking about index funds and ETFs that track the S&P 500, the US total market, a total international market, and even a REIT, a real estate investment trust. These are all decent investments to buy and hold for the long term. Number 8, neglecting retirement planning. Retirement planning is often neglected until later in life, when time to save and compound returns are reduced. Starting early and consistently contributing to retirement accounts like 401ks or IRAs is essential for building a secure financial future. And if you're getting a late start, there are still strategies you can implement to make up for the lost time to the best you can. This, again, is where I would strongly consider getting a financial planner to help plan for retirement, or at least get you on that roadmap, get that roadmap laid out if you're not in your 20s, your 30s, or your 40s. Getting with someone who's helped others in a similar situation like you, if you are in your 50s, 60s, and you haven't done much retirement planning, will go a long way. Number 9, impulse spending and lack of budgeting. Impulse spending on unnecessary items can quickly drain financial resources. Without a budget to track income and expenses, it's easy to overspend and miss opportunities to save. Developing a budget and practicing mindful spending habits can help avoid this trap. You all know I talk about this all the time. My wife and I have been manually budgeting since February 2017. It was the best money decision we made when we were in serious debt and we didn't know how to manage our finances. Tracking our money gave us good insight to see where we were overspending and helped us pay down debt and save and invest for our future. Now, we still budget to this day every single month. We're not as obsessed with it as we once were when we first started, because I do think you get to a point where you know how much you make and should spend, and managing your money in that aspect almost becomes second nature. And on the topic of impulse spending, one of the big actions or inactions that we take each month is we do not make any purchases, especially on Amazon, for anything that we want until the 10th day of the month. This helps us avoid impulse spending. And if we really want something, it teaches us to be patient, to know if we really want it, then okay, by the 10th day, we're ready to go and we'll go ahead and make that purchase. The next money trap, keeping up with social expectations. Social pressures and the desire to fit in can lead to overspending on status symbols like cars, clothes, or vacations. It's essential to distinguish between needs and wants and prioritize financial goals over societal expectations. I think this is a big trap for each generation, right? We see what car friends drive and we see what vacations they go on, and we may feel pressure to join them, or go get a car that's equal to or more expensive than the one they have. Or it could just be a Sunday brunch that you get invited to where you don't have the funds because you're focused on paying down debt and you already earmarked that money for your credit card bill and your student loans, but you go ahead and make an exception just this one time because that's what's expected of you. Try to develop the courage and maturity to limit what you spend on after you've taken care of the necessities, debt, and investing first. I'm not trying to say that you don't enjoy the finer things in life, but you got to do it responsibly and wise. Don't go in the negative direction of net worth in the name of having fun, doing whatever you want, and just spending your money frivolously and just carelessly. Now listen, navigating middle-class money traps requires awareness, disciplined and proactive financial management. By avoiding lifestyle inflation, reducing consumer debt, prioritizing savings and investments, and planning for the future, you can break free from financial insecurity and build long-term wealth. Remember, financial success is achievable with the right mindset and habits. Start today by assessing your financial situation, setting clear goals, and taking steps towards a more secure future. And a big part in moving in the right direction to financial freedom is understanding what a winning payday or paycheck routine looks like. Check out the video on the screen right now, and I'll see you over there. Peace.